All right, so we're hopping into a video about Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. We're doing this series on this book, and what we're talking about is how men and women want to receive and give love in different ways. And so typically what happens with couples when they just kind of go on autopilot is that they give the love that they want to receive without regard to the fact that the other person actually needs something different than what they're giving on autopilot. Okay, so John Gray goes through the book and he identifies what it is that the people are actually looking for. So if we just take care to give that, it's funny that we actually receive back exactly what we need in return. And so this isn't intuitive. So we're going through this as a reminder of the way shit works and how to actually go about this in your relationship. So yesterday we went over the first two sets. So there's 12 different types of love. Men need 6 primarily. Well, everybody needs all of them, but men need 6 primarily. Women need 6 primarily. So man gives number 1 to the woman gives back number 1 to the man. That's the way this works. So we went over number 1 and 2 yesterday, the 2 sets. And today we're talking about how a man wants appreciation and a woman wants respect. So what John Gray says in the book is that when a man acknowledges a woman in a way that prioritizes her rights, wishes, and needs, she feels respected. When his behavior takes into consideration her thoughts and feelings, she feels respected. Makes sense. When she feels respected, it's easier for her to appreciate the man. Makes sense, of course. When the woman acknowledges having received personal benefit and value from a man's efforts and behavior, he feels appreciated. That's what we want. We want to know that the shit we're doing, right, is hitting with you. So our efforts, our behavior, everything that we're doing, we want to know that it matters to you, right? And you're going to do that if we're prioritizing your thoughts and feelings. That's the respect that you're looking for. And I think it makes sense, you know. It all fits in together. So basically, it's a natural. What he says is appreciation is a natural reaction to being supported. So if we're doing our job, you're going to appreciate the things that we do for you because you're going to know it's actually for you. It's not some like fake gesture, right? It's actually for you and not really secretly for us. Like I think back to an episode of The Simpsons where Homer gave Marge a bowling ball for her birthday. You know, so that was funny. You know, so it's like the shit we're doing, if we're prioritizing your thoughts and feelings, it's like, yeah, that's for you. That's for you. We love you, you know. And in return, you know, you're going to appreciate what it is that we're doing more because you know that it's for you. And a man gets energy from appreciation. We do. And makes us want to give more. Makes sense. Okay. Next set. So what he says is a man wants to receive admiration and a woman wants to receive devotion. Now let's talk about that. Those are 2 different things. Okay. So what John Gray says in the book, when a man gives priority to a woman's needs and proudly commits himself to supporting and fulfilling her, proudly supporting and fulfilling her. That's a big order, right? It takes a lot to do that properly. So when he's there, when he's all in like that, her 4th need is fulfilled, which is devotion. What does devotion mean? Like, think about it in a religious context. Like you've got entire like orders of brothers or sisters that devote themselves to a certain saint's way of life. Like if you look at it in a religious lens, like they fucking sit in a room all day by themselves and pray and meditate on this saint's way of living or whatever. And their whole life is like modeled after this saint, right? That's devotion. So when that word is so fucking strong, like think about what that means in terms of relationship. It means that whatever that other person's life mission is, like you're going to fucking support that. Whatever their quirks are, whatever their, you know what I mean? It's like loving them all the way. Like whatever their quirks are, what are their fucking issues? Like figuring out ways to deal with. I mean, it's all in, right? It's about being all in. So if you're all in, she's, you know, her 4th need is going to be fulfilled. Women thrive on feeling special and adored. And what John Gray says in the book is that one way to make them feel this way is to carve out time where you're just focusing on the woman, right? And so if you're, like if you're a gay couple watching this or whatever, you can exchange man and woman for masculine and feminine essence, right? So typically in a gay relationship, there's not going to be like too masculine or too feminine. It's going to be one or the other, because that's the way the poles of sexual attraction work. So it'd have to be some weird, loophole otherwise. But anyway, she's so just keeping it simple here. One way for a woman to feel adored or to feel that devotion is to create special times where you're just focusing on that person, whether it be at the end of each day, going out during the week or whatever. There's a focus there, right? You're not doing anything else, fucking set shit down. Okay, now it's just me and you, and looking into your eyes. How's your day? Etc. Like what are you feeling right now? You're there, right? So to create special times. When a woman feels number one, she admires him. A man needs to feel a woman's admiration. We want to. We want to feel like we're the fucking hero, right? We want to feel that. Without that, it makes us not want to work as hard out in the world, right? If you have full confidence in us, if you admire us, right, and we have to deserve it, right? We can't be a piece of shit and then expect your admiration. But if we deserve it, like we're gonna take that confidence that you have in us out with us into the world and perform even better, because we don't want to let you down. If you have a high view of us, it'll make our view of ourselves even go higher. And we can feel that, like if it's real, To admire a man is to regard him with, this is what he says in the book, wonder, delight, and pleased approval. A man feels admired when she's happily amazed by his unique characteristics and talents. So yeah, whatever that man's deal is, everybody has something different, right? Like I'm putting out videos, going off the cuff, doing shit like that. Like if it has to be real, right? Like if I'm putting out bad content or something, like how's my girlfriend going to admire that? Or even if I'm misusing my characteristics or whatever, right? But like when you're doing this shit, and if you admire the man for what he is, like he's going to feel that, and what John Gray says in the book is that he's going to feel secure enough to open up and adore her, right? Which is that devotion. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the other love needs, the last two sets, which is a man wants approval, and consequently a woman wants validation. And lastly, a man wants encouragement, and a woman wants reassurance. So we're going to go through all this shit and try to get a good aerial view of how all this stuff works. I think that the challenge with this stuff is that, these are all sort of like nuances in the human language about love, different types of love. And I think at the end of the day, how do you make this shit operational? I think that it's going to be hard to sort of nuance out what type of love somebody is looking for in the moment. I think if we get a grip on this stuff, we put it in here and we live it out. At the end of the day, what we really have to do is just be present with our partner, and we're going to sort of intuitively feel some of this stuff out. But I think that when we start getting into arguments, or when we start feeling like our efforts are not hitting the mark, we can go back to this kind of stuff and use it as a roadmap on how to have a greater effect with that person, right? Because I'm going to presume, especially if you're watching these videos, that at the end of the day, like, you want to make shit work, that you're there, you're putting in the effort, like you want that really great relationship. So that's what I got today. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and talk to you later.